Yes, that's right, it's Joe here for Joyrider TV with your September Speed Stick update. Yes, the global Speed Stick leaderboard. The action has never been hotter, and we've got almost 40 new entries on the leaderboard since the last update in August, including a new leader. Oh yes, it is getting very quick out there. If you're new to these events, then what the Speed Stick is a global speed sailing competition where everybody can get involved any day of the week, any week of the year, in any location around the world. All you need to do is go sailing with a GPS device with you, log your fastest speed, get me the results, and you will be included on the Speed Stick leaderboard. And you can see it as well as competing against everybody else around the world, or at your club, or in your type of boat. But you can also see it as you competing against your previous self. All right, so what are we going to do in this video? We are going to go through all of the new entries and the notching up of people who have been beating their previous selves. So let's steam in and see who's been going how fast on the Speed Stick in the last month. So starting off in 167th, we've got Brandon and Tedder sailing a Laser 2000 on the River Medway in the UK. Laser 2000, yes, with a speed of 10.9 knots. Then in 165th, we've got John sailing solo on the Hobie 16, putting down his first speed on the Speed Stick, sailing on Lake Huron, Ontario, Canada, with a speed of 11.8. Yes, John has got the right idea. Get on the stick, even if your speed isn't quite so juicy, and that will give you a speed to chase next time you're out sailing. Then in 164th, we've got Peter sailing a Beneteau First 14 SE. Yes, first one of these we've had on the stick, sailing on Nordsee, Austria, with a speed of 12.01. Great job there, Peter. Then in 161st, we've got Gray and John sailing a Hobie 16, also on Lake Huron, Canada, with a speed of 12.3 knots. Great stuff. 159th for Peter, sailing a Seascape First 14. First one of these on the Speed Stick. Also Nordsee, Austria, with a speed of 12.69. And in 156th, we're heading to Uganda, Lake Victoria, in Entebbe Sailing Club. Sorry for the bad pronunciation if it's not correct. Speed 13.4 for Igor and Lucas sailing a Hobie 16. Great job there, guys. Absolutely smoking it there with a good speed for the future notch-ups to chase, as Igor has been doing on the Ilka 7 in Uganda, in Nyanza Sailing Club, Lake Victoria. Yeah, that was a stretch for me. Also 13.4 knots, notching it up for Igor there. Now we're jumping up to 147th for Davidito and Estefan on a Hobie 16, sailing on Kuka Lake, New York, USA, speed 14.2 knots. Then notching it up for James in 146th on a Getaway, sailing on Lake Grapevine, Texas, with a speed of 14.3 knots. Now, you could say that is the beauty of getting on the stick with a slightly lower speed that you know you're capable of. It means you get more notch-up potential. Whereas if you go out and your first speed on the stick is the fastest you have ever gone, the notch-up is going to be more of a stretch. Then sailing right here, Whirlwind Sailing Holidays, Vasiliki, Lefkas, Greece, in 141st position, we have James, who was sailing the RS Aero with the 5 metre rig on, with a speed of 14.6 knots. Yes, if you like the look of the great champagne sailing that goes on here, you could win a holiday for 2 people out here to Wildwind. Click on the link here and get involved. Buy some raffle tickets. You'll be supporting the future of Joyrider TV and giving yourself a great chance of winning a week's sailing out here with a friend. Yeah, and just to prove how good the sailing is here, in 132nd position, we've got Paul sailing an Ilka 6. Now that's a laser, like kind of laser radial in old money, with a speed of 15.2. And on an Ilka, that is absolutely flying. Great job there, Paul. Then in 128th, also sailing here, bit quicker than Paul on the Ilka 4, which previously would have been known as a laser 4.7, is James with a speed of 15.5 knots. Great job there, James. Very quick. And then back to the USA, we have Johnny and Braden sailing a Hobie 18 on Lake Worth, Texas, with a speed of 15.8 knots. Then in 123rd, we've got Joseph sailing a Top Cat K2X on Dransk auf Rügen, Germany, with a speed of 15.8 knots. Then in 122nd, we've got Max and Matthew sailing a Hobie Getaway on Georgian Bay, Ontario, Canada, with a speed of 16 knots. That is getting pretty juicy on the getaway there, guys. Then in 123rd, we've got Joseph sailing an A-class on Nordsee, Austria, with a speed of 16.04 knots. Great stuff there, Joseph. Then in 120th, we've got a great speed for Juan and Paco on a Top Cat K2, sailing in Alicante, Spain, with a speed of 16.1 knots. Then in 119th, also on 16.1 knots, we've got Jason sailing a Getaway on Elk Lake, Oregon, USA. Sending it. Great job there, Jason. Okay, then in 109th position, and almost, well, not even almost certainly, definitely the fastest 11-year-old on the speed stick, helming the boat. We've got Ben, who's just 11 years old, sailing with Chris on the Nacra Infusion F18, sailing out of Galveston, Texas, USA, with a speed of 16.86. Well done, Ben. Absolutely smoking. Just think how fast you're going to be sailing once you're 12. In 106th position, we've got Fritz and Philip just in on the Hobie 16, sailing on Poddersdorf on Nordsee, Austria, with a speed of 17.01 knots. Great job there, guys. Then in 92nd position, we've got Hans, who's sailing a Hobie 16 solo on the Lake of Zurich, Switzerland, with a speed of 17.6 knots. Then in 84th position, we've got Keith and Julian sailing a Hobie 16 in Okinawa, Japan, with a speed of 18 knots. Now, this shows the quality of this year's speed stick, that to get into the top 80, you've got to be doing faster than 18 knots. That is cooking some serious goose out there. Then in 79th, we've got Jeff sailing a Hobie FX1 on the Chesapeake Bay, Virginia, with a speed of 18.2 knots. Then in 74th position, we've got Joseph again sailing the Nacra 5.0 this time on Nordsee, Austria, with a speed of 18.36 knots. First foiling update on this update, we've got Wolf in 71st sailing a birdie fish, Markelbergersee, Germany, with a speed of 18.7 knots. Then in 68th position, we've got Bobby sailing solo on the Hobie 18 Formula in Pennsylvania, USA, with a speed of 18.8 knots. That is a lot of boat for one sailor to manage. All right, then in 64th, we've got Alexander and David sailing a foiling Nacra 17 in Canea SP Brazil. 19 knots. Great job there, guys. Keeping that bad boy under control. And then in 59th place, we've got Bobby and Anthony sailing the Hobie 21 SE. That is a beast of a boat in Burlington, Vermont, USA, with a speed of 19.11 knots. Cooking some goose there. Just ahead, we've got Antti and Riku in 58th, sailing a Hobie Tiger F18 in Helsinki, Finland, with a speed of 19.2 knots. In 54th position, notching it up, beating their previous speed, we've got Jochen and Sebastian sailing a Nacra Infusion Mark II F18 in Travemünde, Germany, with a speed of 19.38. Great job getting the notch up there, guys. Then in 52nd, we've got Michi and Lorenz sailing a Top Cat K2X, sailing out of the Poddersdorf Sailing Sport Club, Nordsee, Austria, with a speed of 19.41. I think Nordsee, Austria, the most updates on this update. Great job there to everybody from there. Then in 50th, making it into the top 50, we've got Chris and Andy sailing a Hobie 16 on Phillips Lake, Maine, USA, with a speed of 19.6 knots. And then in 46th, we've got Chris and Elka sailing a Hobie 16 right here, Champagne sailing in Vasiliki Bay, Wildwind Sailing Holidays, 19.9 knots. So close to the 20 knot mark. In 40th position, smashing through the 20 knot barrier with 20.1, we've got Luke and Hans sailing a Hobie 16 right here, Vasiliki, Lefkas, Greece, Wildwind Sailing Holidays, 20.1 knots. This is probably the fastest place to sail in the world. Flat water, strong wind, most days. You can go out and practice, notch it up every day of the week. And then in 37th position, sailing on Lake Pepin, Lake City, Minnesota, USA, with a speed of 20.3 knots. We've got Mike and Andre sailing a Nacra Infusion F18. Great speed there, guys. Then in 31st, we've got Gary sailing his Mosquito in Gippsland, Victoria, Australia, keeping the season alive with a speed of 20.5 knots. Now, it must be getting close to the start of the season down in Australia now, so we're hoping to be getting many more big speeds in from Australia before the end of this year's stick. 27th for Oliver and Ralph, sailing a Capricorn F18 on the Eastern Sea in Denmark, 21 knots. Then in 26th, we've got Zemek sailing a Hobie 16 solo on this lake in Poland with a speed of 21.2 knots. Then in 23rd, we've got Matt and Hannes sailing a Hobie 16 right here again. Very fast place to go sailing with a speed of 21.5. Then in 21st, we've got Niels and Lars sailing in Bergen aan Zee in the Netherlands with a speed of 21.8 knots on a Hobie 16. Really getting quick now. And then in 16th position, and this is where it's really cooking, we've got Greg sailing a Hobie 16 solo in the Royal Belgian Sailing Club, Knock, Belgium, with a speed of 22.4 knots. Yeah, to do over 22 single-handed on a 16, that is seriously quick, so well done to Greg there. Then in 15th, we've got Jens and Marcus sailing a C2 F18, which is in fact just over there, here in Vasiliki Bay. Very fast place to go sailing, did I mention that? 22.6 knots for Jens and Marcus. Then in 12th place, we've got Arno sailing a Classic A-Class, possibly one of the biggest speeds of the Classic A-Class that we've ever had on the speed stick, sailing out of the Poddersdorf Sailing Sport Club, Nordsee, Austria, with a speed of 23.10 knots. Okay, then in 10th position, yes, we're into the top 10. How fast do you have to go to get in the top 10 now? You've got to be going 23.2 knots, where we've got Philip and Max. Yes, that's Max, who I was sailing with on Lake Como, sailing in Bergen aan Zee, Nederlands, with a speed 23.2 knots on a Nacra Evolution. That's a quick boat. In 7th place, notching it up, is Joe and Pete. Yes, maybe you saw the video. That was actually me sailing my 16 Bad Boy 95 out there, going as fast as I could, 24.10 knots there. But not enough to keep Paul. This has got to be one of the quickest single-handed 16 speeds we've ever had on the speed stick. Yes, I'll be putting the Hobie 16 speed stick together soon so that we can compare those results as well. But we have Paul sailing the Hobie 16 solo right here with a speed of 24.53 knots. And then, as mentioned, we have got a new leader on the board, knocking Sam and Harry down into 3rd, Kevin and myself down into 2nd, both on Nacra 20 FCSs. We've got Thomas, who is sailing in Denmark out of Copenhagen with a speed of 30.3 knots on the foiling A-class. I can only imagine what that must feel like to go that quick on a boat that size. Very well done to Thomas. That is really smoking some Danish cheese there. Yes, if you are sailing a non-foiling boat and you're thinking, how can I possibly compete with the foiling boats? Don't worry, at the end of the year, there will be 2 separate leaderboards as well as the overall board. So currently leading the charge for the non-foiling boats is still Jack and Tom, sailing the Hobie 16 in Somers, Victoria, Australia, with a speed of 25.52. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon with some more. Coming from Wild Wind Sailing Holidays, enter the raffle, win a holiday, and I might see you here with some more on Joyrider TV. Thanks very much.